When the police reach a dead end on a case, they have to find some way to make a break. Sometimes that requires help from the supernatural world. Here are 10 psychics who helped police investigations. Before we get started, subscribe to our channel by showing some love to that beautiful red subscribe button. Christy Robinette. Christy Robinette has had psychic abilities her whole life, but didn't come to accept them until she was older. When she started getting visions and visitations from the dead, one such visitor named Ashley kept coming to her. When Christy saw Ashley's face on a Crime Stoppers ad, she knew she had to go to the police. Christy was able to lead the detectives to Ashley's body as well as arrest her boyfriend who was responsible. Christy continues to aid police on their investigations, and she has also written several books about her gifts. Philippe Durand. In 1996, a Belgian-born psychic named Philippe Durand was approached by the fiancé of Paula Brown. Police didn't take Durand's reading seriously, but Brown's family was desperate. Brown was a hairdresser in Australia when she went missing. Durand used a map, a plumb bob, and a piece of Brown's hair to find her body. Sure enough, Brown's body was found exactly where Durand said she would be. Alison Dubois. There's a good chance that you already know about Alison Dubois without even knowing her name. Alison was the inspiration for the hit television show Medium after her story made worldwide news. Alison often helps the Phoenix and Glendale Police Department on their unsolved crimes. Even after the show was canceled, it didn't affect Alison's business. She has been tested by numerous people, and while the results are inconsistent, the family she has helped claim she is the real deal. Debbie Malone. Debbie Malone is a psychic based in Sydney, Australia, who was asked by police to solve the murder of a prostitute named Maria Scott. Debbie was called into the case 4 years after Maria's body was found because the detectives wanted to learn more about her death. Debbie led police to a cabin and said that was where Maria was killed. Then Debbie said she felt like the murderer was a ghost and just walked through her. Police then told Debbie that the murderer had committed suicide. Nancy Meyer. Nancy Meyer is a psychic detective who is no stranger to the local police departments. She was called in by the family of 76-year-old Sylvester Tonette to help locate him. Nancy told the family that he was dead, but he didn't die from foul play. Instead, Sylvester got lost in the woods and died from exposure. Nancy also told the police that Sylvester's body was further out than where they were looking. She marked his location on a map, and police found Sylvester's body about 150 yards away from Nancy's pinpoint. Dorothy Allison. When Dorothy Allison was 14 years old, she had a vision of her father's death. Then, a week later, her father died of pneumonia. Since then, Dorothy has been sharing her visions with the public, including the police department. After a young girl ran away in 1976, her parents enlisted Dorothy's help. The psychic told the family that the girl was dead and that her body was in a swamp or marshland, and somehow the number 222 was involved. Police found an abandoned car with a rock that had MAR written on it. Then the girl's body was found inside an oil drum with the number 222 on the side. Dorothy was able to describe the murderer, and the police arrested the girl's boyfriend. Carol Pate. From the time she was 12 years old, psychic Carol Pate was aiding law enforcement on missing persons, murder, and embezzlement cases. Her work garnered a lot of attention, and she made numerous television appearances on shows like Psychic Detectives and was even on Larry King Live. In one case, police mailed Carol photos of the victim and the crime scene, and she was able to tell them exactly where the victim's body was buried. When police checked, sure enough, there was a body. Etta Louise Smith. Psychic Etta Louise Smith was so good at what she did that she found herself on trial for murder. When a nurse named Melanie Uribe went missing after not showing up to work for 2 days, police went on a search and the story went public. Etta Smith realized that Melanie's body was much farther away than where police were looking and decided to do her own search. Etta found the body, but then was arrested and questioned because the police believed she was the murderer. She was eventually released and she successfully sued the police department for damages. Noreen Rainier. In 1984, Arthur Herbert disappeared while flying his plane along with 3 other passengers. The search was eventually called off after a long period of time. Arthur's sister decided to call in psychic Noreen Rainier for help. Noreen was able to give Herbert's sister the exact coordinates of the crash site and even told her what Arthur's last moments were like. When police checked the coordinates, there was the crashed plane right where Noreen said it would be. Carla Barron. Carla Barron is a psychic based in Los Angeles whose claim to fame was being the psychic consulted during the O.J. Simpson trial. However, Barron's real claim to fame was when she accurately predicted that Elizabeth Smart was still alive. She is often consulted on difficult cases, and rumor has it that she was involved in the JonBenet Ramsey murder case, but she was unable to provide helpful information. What do you think? Are these psychics legit or just full of hot air? Check out these other videos from The Richest and tell us what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching.